The reason why certain dry cleaners are making money and certain are not is mainly because of the supply and demand right now is all out of whack. There's a lot of constraints as well in this business. The first thing I look at, a very small brick and mortar could generate. I've been a dry cleaner for about 15 years and owned dry cleaners for the past 10 years. In this video, I want to break down how much could a dry cleaner make. The short answer is it depends. There are some criterias to keep in mind here, which I'm going to go through one by one, but it's really a case-by-case situation. I'm just going to give you the overall ballpark of what I think a dry cleaner could make using my experience in the game for the past decade, as well as a lot of case studies that I've followed on my own. Because there's one thing that I do almost every 3 months is look at how many dry cleaners are for sale in my local area, because the supply and demand right now is all out of whack, which could be a good opportunity for somebody that's looking to get into this field. The reason why certain dry cleaners are making money and certain are not is mainly because of location. Location is a very important thing when it comes to a lot of brick and mortar stores actually. The accessibility for clients to park their car, the volume of traffic that is in front of that location, as well as the overall look of the business. A business that is in a prime location in a renovated building is more enticing for clients to come in than a hole in a wall in a back alley. So if you're looking to buy a dry cleaner, the number one thing you got to keep in mind is the location. Make sure that there's a lot of traffic that passes there. There's accessibility for people. The next point is the operation. There's a lot of people that break their faces in this industry. Why? Because they have no knowledge of dry cleaning. They have no knowledge on how to remove a spot or a stain. And they just think that they could get the keys and figure it out. That it's pretty easy. I've met countless people that bought a business with no knowledge in dry cleaning and broke their face within the first year, declared bankruptcy or just closed the store. And it's really sad because there's a way for people to get into these businesses without breaking their face, especially if they have a good location. The way to do it, if you want to get into that field, I would suggest to start working in a dry cleaner. Work for a couple of months, learn as much as you can from the previous owner and make sure that they're gonna stay with you for at least 3 months. I would say that 3 months is not even enough for you to be a good dry cleaner. It takes a lot of reps, a lot of different cases that you have to fall into. And I mean, I've been in this business for 15 years. And first time I stepped into a dry cleaner, I was 8 years old, literally. And till this day, I still learn things. Till this day, I still make mistakes. Till this day, there's still new fabrics, new fashion that comes in that I have to, pivot my whole experience and skill to figure out how to remove a stain or how to cater to that garment. The operation is not just being a good dry cleaner, it's how to operate in a way where you're going to be profitable. I've seen countless dry cleaners that open their machine at 6 o'clock in the morning and closes it at 4 p.m. And believe me, if that's how a dry cleaner runs his or her business, there's no money to be made. The point is to be as efficient as possible, as quick as possible, and the machines, they have to be closed as soon as possible because that's one of the greatest expenses that we have. Electricity eats off your profits like crazy, so you gotta be very careful on how you're running your operation and how your employees are handling the day-to-day. It's up to you to be a great operator in the beginning until you start finding a manager that will operate the business. Absolutely everything is important in this business. Every minute counts. I literally tell my employees all the time, like, we don't have time. We have to move on because we have loads and loads of clothes that are in the machines that need to be dried, that need to be processed, and we don't have time to chit chat or to mess around. And when I talk about operation, it's really vast, it's huge, because we're talking about how to process the clothes when the customer drops it off at the store, how to organize the store, how to minimize the wasted time on a daily basis. The way I run my operation and the way I consult for other people, the first thing I look at is how the employees are moving. I went to a store that was huge, it was beautiful. The main issue that I found is that employees would walk from one side to another just to go get a box of hangers. It made no sense to me. I said, just take that rack of hangers, put it next to the pressers, and you're saving so much time. I run my operations just like McDonald's. They have to pivot and find whatever they need. I want them to stay in one spot when they're working and not have to run around left and right. If the presser is standing here and pressing, he's turning around, the rack is right on top of him to put the clothes in, and the employee that organizes grabs it right away. I want him or her to take the least amount of steps possible during the day. Speaking of the organizer, we gotta make sure that this person is really good and detailed oriented. I want a person that really cares about looking at the quality of the clothes. If there's still a stain on the clothes, being able to organize the clothes with the right tag number. It happens so many times that people will mislook at a tag number and give someone else's garment to another client, and that's a headache to figure out. Because believe it or not, some customers will not bring back the clothes that are not theirs. It's crazy, but it happens. The last point is service. A lot of dry cleaners will just offer dry cleaning service. They're not going to provide any more services to their local area, and so they're going to hit a ceiling at some point. In all my stores, we offer multiple services, and we push for those services for existing customers to use. For example, I started a shoe cleaning, boots cleaning that is now generating quite a bit of money every year. It was just a thing that I tried during COVID, and now it became its own business by itself, which is crazy. We also offer wash and fold for our local area. A lot of people don't want to do the laundry. We do it for them. We offer pickup and delivery service. Of course, that's a business on its own, and I'm gonna make a whole video about that alone. We offer alterations. We offer carpet cleaning. Pretty much the slogan here is we clean everything but humans, but we really have to shove it in people's faces, because a lot of the times they're like, oh wait, you offer carpet cleaning? And that to me is an echo that I'm doing my job wrong. I'm not pushing these services enough to customers for them to know about it. In one of my stores, we literally do 15 to 20 pairs of shoes and boots every week. If we look at these three things, the location, the operation, and the service, if they're ran properly, a very small brick and mortar of like 1,000 square feet, 1,005 could generate $500,000 a year with a net profit of about 30%. But don't get excited. This is with a proper operation, like somebody who is very tight with every minute and every single thing that is happening in his store. But I've also seen 2,500 square feet stores make $230,000 a year. So it truly all depends on the operator, the person who owns the business. I bought my first business for $175,000. The same year, after 365 days of operation, I was making $250,000 a year, because I've removed a lot of useless stuff. I've added a lot of components where the goal is only to be as profitable as possible. I brought the revenue to $250,000 a year with a net profit of 23%. Not only did we make more money in gross, but also in net,
which was great.
But that's including my pickup and delivery service, which again, I'm going to make a video about this. So like and subscribe not to miss the next video coming up. If we look at the big picture, a local dry cleaner usually generates anywhere from $200,000 to $500,000 a year. The net profit will all depends on the operator, but it ranges from 10% to 25%. And that's what I've seen with a lot of dry cleaners that I went to visit to purchase. It could make a great living for somebody that wants to get into business, have their own store, open the door, close the door. But people run into problems when it comes to scaling, when they want to open their second and third location. That's when they realize that they have to operate their business and not be an operator of their business. And that's exactly where I'm at in my business life. I've opened multiple stores in my life. I've closed multiple stores. I broke my face multiple times for me to learn the sweet recipe on how to do that, how to operate a business, rinse and repeat, and use some strategies that other dry cleaners are not using. At this moment, I decided to reduce the amount of stores that I own from 5 to 3, but I decided to go really crazy on the pickup and delivery and advertise like crazy, because that generates me way more money than having a store where I have to stress out for the fixed cost that comes with owning a store, the electricity, the rent, the insurance, the overhead, and that could be a nightmare by its own. Having a truck and going to people's houses is a way more scalable. It's more peaceful. When your head hits a ceiling and when it gets too much, you have too much volume for the stores that you have in order for you to process the clothes, then you can outsource it to other dry cleaners that would love to take your work on. But yet again, that's another video for another time. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that I answered this question of how much could someone make in a dry cleaner business. Before I let you go, I just gotta let you know that it's not because a dry cleaner is making $1 million to $5 million a year with a dozen employees and a lot of volume that they're making money. I've literally experienced this year where a dry cleaner is making $2 million a year and there's nothing left in the bank account at the end of the month. They're making $0. Why? Because they're not operators of dry cleaners. They're not dry cleaners. They just are counting on other people to do the work. The employees have all the leverage on the owner because they decided to skip a step. So don't skip a step if you want to make money and you want to get into this business. If you want to learn more about these types of businesses, like and subscribe. Until next time.